We were both young when I first saw you. I close my eyes and the flashback starts. I'm standing there on a balcony of summer air. See the lights, see the party, the ball gowns. See you make your way through the crowd and say hello. Little did I know that you were Romeo, you were throwing pebbles, and my daddy said, stay away from Juliet. Hey guys, so as we promised, today we're doing the video about living on campus versus commuting. Just like the pros and cons of that. And we decided to change the scenery a little bit.
Yeah, we're outside in my front lawn.
Just because like I know these sitting down videos can kind of get a little bit boring, but we'll try to keep you entertained. We're gonna start with on campus because that's a little bit more exciting and we have experience obviously with living on campus.
Alright, so one of the pros for living on campus is that you get to be with your friends that you make pretty much all the time. I mean, you gotta finish your homework and make sure all your schoolwork is done.
Make sure you finish that homework, it's important.
But whenever you're done, you've always got people around that you can just walk over to and hang out with, or they might be in the same dorm as you and you can just knock on their door. And it's great just being able to hang out with friends any minute of the day.
And tagging on to that, hello car, you can be a very spontaneous person and you can just, you know, get out of class and maybe your friends are doing something. So that minute you can just start hanging out with them. You don't have to plan anything. You can just be like, hey, are you doing anything right now? Oh, cool, come hang out. That's what that meant.
Yeah, that's a big word.
Spontaneity. Spontaneity. It sounds like Southern or something, I don't know. Something else that's good about living on campus is you can get more involved because when you're commuting, it's kind of hard to join clubs and be, you know, there with everything that's going on. There's a lot of like times that you gotta be there, that like you gotta drive all the way from your house late at night and stuff.
Yeah, and if you're like us and you live like 45 minutes from your school and you have a club that meets at like 7 p.m., your classes probably ended around noon to like 3, and so you're like, you'd either have to wait on campus for 4 hours or just like drive back, which sucks.
And the best of all, you're not living with your family.
I know some people love living with their family, but like the freedom is just
what
really
is wrong
great.
with you guys?
The freedom is amazing. You get to do whatever you want without your parents breathing down your neck all the time, and they don't ask you if you finished your homework, although your group mom will.
Listen, you gotta keep on that shit. Be a responsible person. But I have a question for you guys. Why are you guys so in love with your families? I don't understand. Like, why do people want to go home on the weekends and like spend time with their family? Like, I don't know about you guys, but like I can move away and just be fine.
Yeah.
Like, I love my dad and everything, but like, I don't know, I don't need him right there. Okay, well, last thing is you're living on campus, so you can just walk like 2 seconds to your class. It's not 2 seconds, I'm lying. It's really like, Southern is a short, like a small campus, but
even to the furthest away thing, it's never
about,
more than a 10-minute walk.
Yeah.
It's usually like a 5-minute walk.
Okay. So that's always a positive thing. If you have early classes, you can just wake up, you know, 15 minutes to half an hour before your class and just walk there in sweatpants and stuff, because like college.
You have to go to class in your pajamas at least once.
Pajamas?
Eh.
I'd say like sweatpants, sweatshirt, hair tied up, but like pajamas, that's a little I mean, you could if you, like, do whatever you want. You know what? Do whatever you want.
Nobody cares.
Be you.
You could go to class in like a chicken suit and pretty much nobody would say anything.
If you go to class in your pajamas, take a picture and send it to us. Now moving on to the cons of living on campus.
Con hall.
That you might not know of. Con hall. The food doesn't suck, but it's not that great. Like, you get tired of having the same kinds of foods, and especially if you're like me and you have an allergy to something, there's not many options that you can have, so just keep that in mind. And with food, you have to go walk to get the food. You can't just stay inside your nice cozy dorm and walk downstairs and get some food. No.
I mean,
guess what? You have to suffer and walk like 5 minutes to the dining hall in the blistering cold and heat, and I rather starve.
the dorms at Southern at least come with a fridge and a microwave, so when it's like really freezing, you could heat something up, but like
college kids don't have money for that kind of things. We don't got money for food. Like, I ain't trying to live that life. Girl, no.
Are you Steph now?
Another thing that you might not think of is air conditioning. And I know most people have air conditioning at their houses, but a lot of colleges still don't have air conditioning, and Southern is one of them. So
unless you live in West.
True. If you live in West, they have air conditioning. But most of the buildings, like the freshman buildings and everything, don't have AC. And so, you know, you kind of just like wither away and sweat all your fat out and stuff.
Helps keep the freshman 15 off, though.
So, you know, you just don't sleep because it's too hot, whatever.
And also, during the winter, for some reason, they think it's good to just blast the heat up until it's like 95 in the dorms.
Okay,
like, you couldn't
yeah.
use a blanket at all the entire winter.
It
was too hot to sleep under a sheet.
I was sleeping in my bra and underwear with like my legs sticking out of the comforter in the dead of winter. It's like 13 degrees outside. But we did live.
Yeah, we survived.
So
Really hot.
I guess that's pretty good.
And you never get to curl up under a blanket and watch a movie, so
No cuddling.
yeah. And watch out for those scary movies. You're never going to be able to hide under the blankets.
The most obvious con of living on campus is that it's really expensive.
Yeah.
That's
it's
all.
crazy.
That's all I have to say about that. It's just really expensive. It's also loud. Like, you may not think that it gets that loud, but it's pretty loud. Like, especially at night when you're trying to sleep, and there's people above and to the sides of you that are blasting music or like playing their guitar or having sex. Like, that does happen.
Yeah, that does happen.
Kind
Like
of a lot.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, the music, it's those walls, even though they're made of concrete, very thin. You can hear music 2 floors up and all the way down the hall in Farnham, I mean.
And if you have your window open, you can usually hear like just people screaming for no reason in the courtyard and
People
stuff.
like to yell a lot, especially at like 2 a.m.
Or if it's like a Friday or something and a lot of people are drinking, then that's a thing.
Yeah. Another con of living on campus is that you really don't get much alone time, especially if you have a roommate that really likes to be in the dorm. If your roommate never leaves the dorm, there is no alone time. There's nowhere you can go on campus that there aren't people.
A big problem that I noticed freshman year was washing your clothes and drying them. For us, there's only one washer and dryer on each floor, which, I mean, there's only like 20 people on the floor, but in terms of like washing your clothes, it's not really that much. There's a lot of times where you go and you really have to do your laundry and somebody's using the washing machine or somebody didn't take their clothes out of the dryer.
Oh, that's the worst.
The last con for living on campus is there are restrictions to, you know, partying, how loud you can turn up the music, alcohol, obviously. So you have to be careful about that, and and I know you guys are going to go to parties and drink and whatnot, but you just have to be really careful and not get caught. Also, with restrictions, animals. You can't have any kind of animal except for fish, basically.
At least it's southern.
And that's a big deal for me because, like, I love my animals and I always love to, like, cuddle something really soft and cute. And it just sucks that you can't have anything, like anything, not even a freaking hamster. So, that's rude. Now on to commuting.
We're gonna make this pretty quick because a lot of the stuff we pretty much already said in reverse for living on campus. But the pros of commuting are it's very cheap, and you can also get a job when you're at home a lot easier than finding a job on campus, so you're making money at least. If you had a lot of friends in high school, it's a lot easier to stay in touch with them while you're home. You get free food and you get to do your laundry for free, which is so nice. It's very expensive at college. And you have a lot of privacy at home, and it's just like comfortable because it's your home, is where you grew up.
The beds are definitely nicer at home. For cons, there are gaps. I mean, you can make your schedule so that this doesn't happen, but usually there are gaps between classes. So if you're commuting, you don't have a dorm to go to between classes, and you kind of just you chill in the library or something. That's not really that exciting. You don't get involved as much, like we said before. You are living at home. That sucks. Also, you have to take in consideration the amount of time it takes you to drive to school or take the bus or bike, whatever you have to do. Because if you have early classes, you got to leave even earlier to, considering traffic and all that kind of stuff. And I feel like you don't have that much independence when you're living at home because your parents still treat you like you're in high school. And if you have really, like, relaxed parents, that's great. But I know if I didn't live on campus, my dad would still be like, where are you going? Who are you going out with? What time are you going to be home? Like, you have to do the chores. Like, oh, hey, that's another thing. You got to do chores, probably.
Oh, yeah.
That kind of sucks. No chores at college. But you just don't get as much room to grow up, really, and make your own decisions and stuff.
Plus, you probably won't make as many friends, like, from college, just because you make a lot of friends when you're just in the dorm or
in class with each other.
Yeah, and, like, it's a lot easier to hang out with people when you can go back to your dorm.
So I hope this video helped you guys. I know it's getting around the time, probably past the time now, that you have to choose whether to commute or to live on campus. And don't bash commuting right away. Like, don't be like, oh no, not me, I could never commute, that's terrible. Like, there are some good things about commuting. It's not terrible. I would suggest staying on campus at least 1 year out of your college lifespan thing. Career. But if you can't do it, don't regret it, honestly. So I hope we shed some light into that. And as always, I hope we helped you guys out. Thanks for watching.
Bye.